This video explains how you can use the mirror export feature in Aspect to export all of your Aspect store data to a common file format such as ascii or dbase. Reasons you might want to do that are if you wanted to, say, load your Aspect data into a spreadsheet and work with it there, or maybe you want to make your Aspect data available to another product, say a reporting package or a handheld inventory system. So to create the exports with Aspect loaded in your browser, you're going to choose Exports to the left, and then select Mirror Export. And here are the settings that you're going to need to put in order to start creating the exports. First, you're going to select an interval, which tells Aspect how often you want to check for changes in the data. The interval that you select here doesn't mean that an export will actually be created, say every 5 minutes. It means that Aspect will look every 5 minutes for data that is new or data that is changed, and if it finds any, that's when it's going to create the export. When you choose your interval, you'll want to select a beginning date and time to calculate that interval. So let's say you chose every 24 hours. You'd want to choose a starting date and a starting time, say 6 a.m., and that way Aspect would look for changes every day at 6 a.m. and export whatever it found. Here you can select the format that you want to export the data to. There are two ASCII formats. One is separated by commas, one separated by tabs. The other is a dbase format, which is a very common format if you wanted to, say, load this data into a spreadsheet. If you've been using Aspect for a while, maybe you have several years worth of data in your store directory and maybe you don't want to export all of the old data, just the current data, you can select a starting date here, and Aspect will ignore any files earlier than whatever starting date you choose. So you could put in 1/1/2010, for example. Any data from 2009 is not going to be exported. Over here you'll choose the stores that you want to export. If you're at a home office or a corporate office, you'll have probably multiple stores listed. You can select multiple stores by holding down the control key as you click on each one. In these boxes, you're going to choose the data that you actually want to export. When you put your mouse on top of them, you'll see a description of the information contained in them, and probably these boxes are going to have more options available to you than what you see here in the video. But select the things that you want to export and then click Apply. And based on the interval that you chose there, Aspect's going to start looking for data, new data, change data, every 24 hours, whatever you specify, and create your exports for you. If you want to see the exports immediately, you can click on Apply and Export Now, which will cause Aspect to go and export the data immediately, regardless of what interval you've selected. The interval that you select will still be in place, and Aspect would look again and say, 10 minutes or 24 hours or whatever you selected. After you've enabled the export by selecting an interval and clicking Apply or Apply and Export Now, a table will appear down here showing all the files that Aspect has processed. These are files that Aspect has found have been modified or they're new, and these are the files that have been exported. And the exports are created in a folder named Mirror Export beneath your store directory. So that's how you export your data from Aspect.